Once you have completed the Channel Advisor setup guide for Buy.com, you can now begin mapping how your inventory will be sent using the Buy.com template. Mapping your inventory correctly is a crucial step in listing your products on Buy.com, as Buy.com is very specific regarding how product information is sent for use on their site. To assist you in this process, Channel Advisor has provided you with a Buy.com template, which is broken out into two sections. One section is designated for products that already exist in Buy.com's catalog, also known as in catalog. And another section is for products that are not already listed on Buy.com, also known as out of catalog. For this tutorial, we will focus on mapping in catalog items to Buy.com. Begin by going to the Marketplace's Buy.com product mapping view to access the Buy.com template. From this page, you will have the option to select the Buy.com in-catalog default template that was created when going through the setup guide. You also have the option to create a new template here. For this demonstration, we will select the Buy.com in-catalog default template. Here, you have the option to edit your template name, and then give your template an optional description. Scrolling down the page under the heading Template Fields Existing Product Information, on the left-hand side, you can see the various fields for Buy.com existing products. It will be up to you to map what data is used for each of those fields by choosing from the options on the right-hand side. The fields marked with a red asterisk are mandatory fields in Buy.com and must be completed. You will notice that these fields are populated automatically when the template is created. We will go through and demonstrate how to edit these fields shortly. When mapping a template field, you will have four options to choose from: mapping as static text, mapping an inventory field, mapping using a business rule, and mapping using a lookup list. The mapping as static text option is useful when you want to have the same value for all of your inventory items. For example, if all of your items have a condition of new, the text option would be useful to designate all your items as new. On the other hand, for product titles, your inventory will have many different values. In this scenario, you would want to consider mapping an inventory field. With this option, you would choose a specific inventory field that contained the relevant information for the field you are mapping. Using the product title example, you would want to choose the inventory field related to title. If this inventory field did not exist, you would then have the option to create a new attribute to represent this field. You may also map using business rules, which allows you to customize how you manipulate your data before it is uploaded into your Buy.com account. Returning to the example related to condition, let's say your product titles contained the condition types of new or used. You could create a business rule that would recognize the specific condition type within the product title and populate the value into the condition field. Applying a business rule can save you time and effort when used properly. Finally, you have the option of using a lookup list. Lookup lists are an alternative way of manipulating your data before it is uploaded to Buy.com. They can perform several functions, like allowing you to include additional data in your item or to replace existing data with different information. Lookup lists are covered in more detail on the SSC. Now let's begin editing the template. You should always begin by referring to the help icon next to each template field. Simply hover your mouse over the icon to view useful information and examples of how to complete each field. This will help determine which mapping option is best to use. Now select the edit icon for the product ID field. When we read the help description, we learn that this field is a unique identifier for each of our products. This tells us that we will most likely want to map this item by using one of our inventory fields that contains this value. When you select the drop-down menu, you will see the four available mapping options. Select the inventory field option. You will then be able to select the appropriate inventory field to populate this field. The SKU inventory field has already been chosen for us, but you will want to choose the field that pertains to your specific inventory. For this example, we will select the UPC field, since this is the most commonly used product ID for adding Buy.com in catalog items. Because this is a mandatory field, you may want to consider selecting a backup field for any circumstances where the field you've chosen ends up being blank for a particular item. This will help eliminate any items from being rejected by Buy.com. To do this, select the checkbox and then choose an alternative inventory field value or use a text value. Then select Continue. For product ID type, we will again reference the Help option to determine how best to map this field. We see that Buy.com associates a number value with a corresponding product ID type. Let's pretend that all of our items are using the same product ID type. We would then use the Mapping as Static Text option. Then we would select the appropriate number option from the dropdown. Continuing with our previous example for product ID, we will select the number 2, which corresponds to the UPC product ID. For the condition field, Buy.com also associates a numerical value with a corresponding condition type. For example, 1 means brand new. If all of your products are of the same condition, you can simply use the Mapping as Static Text option and select the corresponding number value. However, if you have some products that are new and some that are used, you will want to utilize the Inventory field option. You will then select the appropriate inventory field. In this case, we have created an attribute entitled Condition that will populate the appropriate number value for each item. The price field will also typically be unique for each inventory item and will require that you map using an existing inventory field, such as starting price. As mentioned before, you would most likely want to select a backup field in case the field you have chosen is left blank for a particular item. The minimum advertised price field is the first field that is optional to complete. You will want to complete this field only if you are selling your products below the minimum advertised price and want to comply with the rules for doing this. The expedited shipping field is the last required field and is where you indicate if you are offering this service or not by selecting a numerical value. A value of 1 means yes, you are, and 0 means no, you are not offering expedited shipping. If offering expedited shipping, your product must arrive to the consumer within 4 business days. The condition note field is for any additional descriptive value related to condition you would like to appear for your products. There is a 250 character limit for this field, and an example might be manufacturer reconditioned. The standard shipping charge field is for you to indicate the flat rate fee you are charging for shipping. Any amount entered here will override the Buy.com default shipping rates. There is no need to enter a value here unless it is an override to the rates you have already established on Buy.com. If offering free shipping, simply enter 0. The expedited shipping charge field is for you to indicate any overrides that you have for expedited shipping. If used, enter the flat rate fee you are charging for expedited shipping or map to a field that contains that value. If offering free expedited shipping, simply enter 0. The shipping lead time field is for you to indicate the number of days it takes to ship an order after it has been received. The default lead time is 1 or 2 business days. Only complete this section if entering a value greater than 2 by simply typing the number of days it takes to ship an item. 14 is the maximum number you can enter here. This completes the template portion for adding in-catalog items to Buy.com. Next, you would want to go on and complete the new product information portion of the template. In order to begin the process for adding out-of-catalog items to Buy.com, which is covered in another video, mapping the section for out-of-catalog products is optional, so if you know your products already exist in the Buy.com catalog, you do not have to complete it. Once you have completed mapping this template, scroll to the bottom of the page and select the Validate and Save option. You will be returned to the Marketplaces Buy.com settings view. You will first want to review your content by selecting the preview link. You will then be emailed a preview of your Buy.com content. Once you are satisfied, you will then select Activate to send your product information and activate the Channel Advisor integration with Buy.com. All of your product information will be sent shortly to Buy.com. Later, you will want to visit the Products Overview page for Buy.com at Marketplaces Buy.com Products Overview to verify that all of your products have been listed successfully. For additional information, please visit the Strategy and Support Center.